So I'm back today in my car, not doing a drive with me this time, I'm doing a story time. So the reason I'm filming this in my car is just because it's a lot quieter over here and I know no one's gonna interrupt me. It's just my mom home right now, but I know she's gonna interrupt me and I also just don't really want her to hear this story. So yeah, I figured the best bet would be to film it in my car. So that's what I'm doing today. This is a story time that took place my junior year of college, and it's probably my worst like fuck up in college that I just like really screwed up and was really stupid. So junior year I lived by the U of A in like a little duplex with one of my good friends, and it was Super Bowl Sunday. And I was at my parents' house just for a little bit, and then I had plans later that day to go watch the game and then go out after with some of my other friends. So I went back home to my house by the University of Arizona, and I got all ready and headed over to my friend's house to go pregame before we headed over to the Super Bowl. So we did that, got all ready, we're super excited, we're gonna have a good night.
So we thought.
And we go to the Super Bowl game and it's super fun. Like there's a lot of people there. It was pretty chill, just more like casual drinking. And by the time the Super Bowl was over, one of our friends got really fucked up. Like she was not okay. And she ended up like falling. I think she was like trying to sit down and then she fell on the floor. Like she just wasn't good. So we're like, okay, we're gonna take her home because like we still want to go out, but like she definitely cannot go out, like she's not good. And I'm pretty sure like when we were getting the Uber, she threw up outside. I'm pretty sure, I don't really remember. But anyway, that happened. We took her home and she was persistent on going out with us still, and we're like, dude, like you cannot come out, you're not okay. So me and my best friend, she's my best friend now, we got really close that semester. Anyway, besides the point. So we finally got her to bed and we're able to leave. So I think we pre-gamed a little bit more at her house before we left, and we headed to University Boulevard, which is like a really popular area by the university, and we went to No Anchovies. And if you're familiar with the University of Arizona, that is a very big party place, especially on Friday nights. But this was Super Bowl Sunday, obviously, and it actually was a lot of fun. I saw a lot of my old friends and stuff, but we got pretty lit, and this is where everything just goes freaking wrong. So we saw some people that we were at the Super Bowl party with prior there, and we decided to leave with them. My best friend was talking to one of the guys, so we ended up leaving with them, and we got into a pretty big argument, me and my best friend. I don't even remember what it was about. I got really upset with her because it was like, you're being mean to me, blah, 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 you know, typical drunk shit. And we got to the place, the guys and the Uber driver are just like, oh my god, like why? Get me out of here. So we finally get to their place and we're just screaming at each other still. Like we get out of the car, we're screaming at each other, like I'm crying because I'm so frustrated, and I'm like, dude, stop talking to me, like I don't want to talk to you. And she just kept going. So I was like, and it didn't help that I was pretty intoxicated. So I decided to freaking book it down the road, just book it. And my friend's chasing after me, like screaming at me to come back, and I'm like, no, fuck you, I'm not coming back. So I sprint down the road and she stopped following me, and I ended up by myself in the sketchiest area of town. Like it was Grant and Dodge.
I'm in the ghetto.
If you're familiar with Tucson, like that is such a sketchy area, especially to be at like 1 o'clock in the morning
By yourself.
as a female. Like, oh, stupid. So I'm walking down the side of the road by myself, crying, and I finally make it to a Jack in the Box, which this Jack in the Box was like right next to where my dad used to work. So there's like an apartment complex right there that I'm familiar with, because sometimes when I would go to my dad's work and park there, I would see this complex, and my dad would always talk about it all the time, how sketchy the people were and stuff like that. So I make it to this Jack in the Box, and I'm like, oh, I kind of know where I am. So I'm still crying, like trying to get the door open at Jack in the Box. They're
Closed.
and these guys come up to me, these random ass guys outside of Jack in the Box, and they're like, oh my god, like, are you okay? And I'm like,
leave me alone, like, I'm fine, don't talk to me.
Just bawling. So then one of the workers, he was so nice, he comes out and he's like, oh my god, like, what's wrong, are you okay? And me thinking I still had my purse, because at this point I lost my purse. I still had my phone, but I did not have my purse. And in my purse I had a phone charger, because mind you, my phone was dying. Like, it was at like 2%. So I was not okay, especially to be by myself. Like, I'm such an idiot. So the guy's like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't have a phone charger, because I asked him to charge my phone, and I was like, oh shit, just kidding, I don't have my purse. That's fantastic. So he was like, I don't have an iPhone charger, I'm so sorry. So he was being super nice, but he couldn't let me back in because they were like counting money and doing their closing stuff. So he's like, let me call you like an Uber or something, like, let me see your phone. I'm like, my phone's gonna die, like, I don't know what to do. So he was so nice. It was really cold that night. He got me like his jacket and gave it to me. I still had it, but then I got rid of it. It was like an army jacket. But anyway, so then he decides to call me a taxi, which you don't take taxis in Tucson like ever. The last time I took a taxi was like freshman year, because everyone took like those cool cab things. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but anyway, it's been a while since I took a taxi, and they're pretty sketchy, especially when you're by yourself at night. Like, not a good look at all. Not even Ubers I like taking by myself in the middle of the night. And taxis you can't really track like through an app or anything, so like, I don't know. And so he got me the taxi. It was super nice of him. I got in the taxi. I didn't have my phone, or I had my phone at this point. I didn't have my purse, keys, wallet, so there was no way I could go back to my place. So I was staying the night at my friend's house anyway, but I had no idea when she was gonna come back, or if she was gonna come back, or how I was gonna get into her house, because I couldn't get into my house. My roommate wasn't even home. So I was stressing the fuck out, and he dropped me off at my friend's house, and I realized I don't have my purse again, because I'm a stupid idiot. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I don't have money to pay this guy, and I didn't have like my debit card on my wallet at that point, so, or like on my Apple Pay. And so I was like, okay, sir, I'll be right back, like, I'm gonna go up and try and get money from my friends and pay you, like, I don't have my purse. He's like, okay, like, it's fine, whatever. I think he kind of expected me to just like dip, which I pretty much did, but I left my phone in there. I left my phone in the fucking car. Yeah.
You heard that right.
I left it in the fucking taxi. I left it in there. I go upstairs to my friend's like apartment, banging on the door, just banging, banging, banging. No one's answering until finally one of the roommates come down and open the door for me. She was like,
What the fuck happened?
and I explained everything to her, and I was just like crying, and then I went to bed. I slept on the couch. I woke up in the morning, and I'm just like, that really happened. I really did that. I'm
Stupid.
So I wake up, I don't have my phone, I don't have my keys, I don't have my wallet, and I don't have my purse. Amazing. Congrats, Alexis. My best friend and I talked because she was back, and we were just like,
Oh my god, like, that was so stupid.
like, we kind of forgave each other, talked about it, whatever. I was like, I don't know where my shit is. Like, at that point, I didn't remember that I left my phone in the taxi. I thought I just left it in the purse. So, in all honesty, I don't remember if I lost my purse at the Super Bowl party or I lost it at No Anchovies. or I lost it when we were in the car and we got dropped off at those guys' house and I just like left my purse there. No idea. So I'm freaking out. I call No Anchovies and I head over there to see if my shit is there. It's not. I'm like, fantastic. My mom is probably gonna call me today. I was supposed to go to my parents' house that day and it was a mess. So I'm freaking out. Finally go back to my house where my roommate was and I explained the story to her and she was like,
You're literally an idiot, girl. You are stupid.
so I couldn't get like my phone to work on my laptop, like it wasn't connecting, so I couldn't even text my mom or like see if my mom had texted me because the messages weren't coming through. So then I asked my roommate if I could borrow her phone and she did. She let me. She laughed at me a lot and I called my mom.
Time to tell her.
I did not tell the whole truth because she would have slapped me, but she was still very upset with me, very disappointed. She knew that I was probably not in my right senses when all of this happened. I told both of my parents that someone stole my stuff at the party, which could have happened, but I'm not sure. My phone wasn't stolen at the party. I just left it in the taxi. So I woke up and I didn't remember what taxi service I took either. So I was trying to contact the Jack in the Box that I was at the night before so that they could tell me what taxi service I took. I couldn't get a hold of them. So I'm just freaking out. I had to go to work that next day and I went to work with my laptop so I could text people and it was just awful. I felt so bad for my parents too. It was just horrible. So a few days pass, I'm still just with my laptop and finally my dad kept calling my phone. So I was at my apartment or at my house because I had class the next day and whatever. So I went to bed the next morning. The taxi service calls my roommate, and the funny thing is the taxi service was on the phone with my dad through my phone. So my dad is listening to the conversation as I'm talking to the person through my roommate's cell phone, and my dad is parked outside of my house. So I'm sitting there being like,
Oh my god, thank you so much.
blah blah blah, and I told my dad initially that my phone was stolen with my purse. So he caught me in the lie, in the act. My dad calls me after that, or calls my roommate, and is like, get the fuck out of the house. I am outside of your house right now and tell me what happened. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm such an idiot. So I walk out, walk of shame, and I tell my dad the full story, and he's like, you are literally a
Dumbass.
But luckily my dad is like super understanding and stuff. Like obviously he was super pissed at me, but like he's done way worse. So luckily we were able to go get like my phone or whatever from the taxi service, but I had to pay the guy for the service. So I had to get all my tips and everything from my job that I worked at that I had been saving, and I had to pay him with my tips. And it was $60, but at least I got my phone back. So that same morning, a little bit later, I was sleeping and my roommate comes into my room and she's like, dude,
The cops are on the phone for you.
and I'm like, what? So she's like freaking out. She's just like laughing at this point because the story she said, when she answered the phone, they were like, hi, this is the Tucson Police Department, like we're looking for Alexis. So my roommate's like, what did this bitch do now? Like what? So she comes into my room and she was like, dude, they found your purse. It's the Tucson Police Department. And I'm like, oh my god, you're kidding. This is not possible. Like what? So I get on the phone with them and they're like, yes, like some lady called and found your purse and she wants to give it back to you, so like you just have to go pick it up at her place, like here's her information, blah blah blah. And she had reached out to me through Facebook as well, but I hadn't seen it. So hallelujah, like everything's coming back together. I'm getting everything back. Amazing, right? Amazing. So first my dad goes and picks me up from my house after that whole situation, like when he picked me up from like the taxi thing. So we go to meet the taxi guy and he gives me my phone back and I pay him, and then I go and meet the woman who found my purse. And it was in a neighborhood. It was like where the Super Bowl party was and near where the guy's house was that we were going to after No Anchovies. So I'm thinking like someone either stole it at the Super Bowl party or I like lost it when I just like left it when I started running. So I really still to this day don't know. But yeah, so I got all my shit back and everyone makes fun of me still for it. Everyone's like, how are you so lucky that you got everything back? Like, I wasn't missing any money. I wasn't missing anything from my purse. My keys were in there. I got my phone back, not cracked, anything. Like, like I was one lucky bitch. One lucky bitch that day. So literally after that, I was like, absolutely not. Like, I need to get
my shit together.
And that was probably the worst that I've ever like been, intoxicated wise and stupid wise. So after that, like, I was like, absolutely not. I need to never do that again. Like, I can be a dab, but just don't lose your shit or be an idiot. Like, no. So after that, things got a lot better for me. I was a lot smarter. Still not the smartest. Still doing a lot of stupid shit, but a lot better because I was like, that is never happening to me again. And people make fun of me a lot because I lose things a lot, but never valuable things, and I always find them. I like misplace things a lot, and then I'm the person that like freaks out because I can't find it. And I've misplaced my phone quite a few times, so I get made fun of a lot for that. But ever since then, like, I've been a lot better with all my shit. Like, I haven't lost anything, knock on freaking wood. So moral of the story is I was a very lucky girl that day because a lot of bad things could have happened to me. I could have been friggin' kidnapped, sex trafficked, friggin' raped. Like, so many bad things could have happened in that scenario, especially being a girl by herself in the middle of the night on Grant and Dodge. If you guys know that area, like, it's bad. So luckily everything worked itself out. It was a big learning experience for me. My dad was such a homie. Like, literally, he was so great. Like, obviously pissed at me, obviously disappointed, but he was so like understanding, helped me out so much. And yeah, it was rough, guys. So I just wanted to share that little story time. I think it's pretty funny now. It wasn't in the moment, and I think me sharing that story will maybe help you guys not make the same mistakes that I did. So, which I'm sure a lot of people have, especially in college. But yeah, I never want to do that again, and I never will do that again. So it was rough. It was a rough time. Rough like 4 days, but we laugh about it now, especially my roommate at the time. She always recalls that day when the cops called her, and she was like, what the fuck? So yeah, everything turned itself around and I got everything back, luckily. And I just thought that was a great story because it took such a turn. Like, it started out great, then it got bad, then it got really bad, and then I got all my shit back. So yeah, I can be pretty lucky sometimes. But I really hope you guys enjoyed that story time. I have a lot more story times of me being stupid or having funny shit happen to me that just like would only happen to me. I know a lot of people say that, but like some people are just like that, or the things that happen to them are just like one for like a freaking movie. Like, how does that happen to people? That's the type of shit that like happens to me. So I would love to share more story times with you guys if you guys like this. Yeah, so moral of the story, be smart, don't overdrink, don't fight with your friends, don't be in the middle of the night by yourself, don't take a taxi, don't lose your stuff. So that's gonna be it for today's video, and I'm excited to continue sharing more story times and everything with you guys. And yeah, that's gonna be it. It was really fun filming this, really fun reminiscing on such great times. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like and make sure to subscribe so that you guys can keep watching more videos like this. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye guys.